Let me just rip the band-aid right off. I read 9 books in February and none of them got a 5 stars. Zero, nada. Instead of a regular wrap-up, consider this kind of like a rose session. Like the authors, they chose violence by giving me mediocre plot lines and horrible endings. So I'm choosing violence right back. Grab a drink because we have some serious crimes against literature to discuss today. Now for some fun stats, I read 9 books and that kind of adds up to 2879 pages. If you print them and stack them up, it will be kind of like a large house cat or my emotional baggage after having dealt with Heathcliff. Because none of the books got a 5 stars, so this month my average rating is at a painfully low 3.5 stars. My reading mood was 50% existential dread, 40% questioning my life choices, and 10% pure spite. Let's start by number 1, Walking Practice by Dolkeman. This book is a giant red flag for modern dating. The concept here is wild. Like, we have this alien who is stranded on Earth, and the only way the alien can survive is by consuming humans. So, where do they find all these humans? Yes, they hop on to the dating apps. Honestly, modern problems require modern solutions. This is a weird, gory short read, and when I say gore, I literally mean pages about how to prep a human being to be consumed in the most tasty way. But here's the biggest flaw about this book. Like, despite all this weird alien cannibalism, which honestly is a cool concept, but I did not care at all about the main character, the alien. In short, this book had a zero emotional connection, but maybe a lot of weird digestion. If anything, this book will validate your fears of inviting strangers into your house from weird websites. 3 stars, weird concept, messy execution, and a great reason to stay single. The award it gets is the Delete Your Tinder Now award. Next up, we have When the Sky Falls by Philip Earle. And this is a book which had all the great ingredients for a great execution, but it kind of feels like a nap. The story is set in the blitz of World War II. We have this angry kid, Joseph, who is kind of shipped off to live with a gruff zookeeper. His main job is kind of to babysit this giant gorilla, Adonis. And since it's a war, there's a chance that there might bombs be falling and the gate of Adonis opens and he will run away and destroy the whole city. So yes, our main character Joseph's job is to shoot Adonis in such circumstances. You would think such a book about raging war and about the gorilla and the bond between a gorilla and a boy would just make you feel out at the edge of your seat, but no. The execution feels completely flat. Like, you could see that the author wanted to hit your head with the harsh realities of war, and to be honest, the bond between Joseph and Adonis was decent, but it was like nothing extraordinary that you would just cry over. One main reason why it felt like this, at least to me, is because it's a middle-aged book and it reads like one. So even if I felt like, yes, I wanted to go in for a thriller roller coaster ride, it just felt flat and it felt like a drive through a grey neighborhood. 3 stars again, huge gorilla, but zero thrills. The award it gets is All Cage, No Rage award. Next up is Written in the Stars by Alexander Belfiore. Now, this book follows 2 star-crossed lovers, Darcy, an uptight actuary, and Elle, a free-spirited astrologer. Now, these two, they go on an absolutely disastrous blind date, which was set up by Darcy's brother. But no, instead of breaking up and promising never to meet again, what they decide to do is actually fake date each other so that they can get their families off their backs. I have to say this, that this is generally a very cute romance. Like, there are a lot of cute and fuzzy and funny moments sprinkled in between, which would make your heart flutter. So, by any means, this book is not a bad book. But my biggest issue is that, like, I feel like I have read this story 1,000 times. I read a lot of romance, so I didn't think this book particularly brought something new to the table. And because of that, a lot of parts of it felt like dragged out. In this book, I did not connect a lot with the characters. To be fair, if you want my recommendation on a top tier fake dating trope romance, I will highly suggest Take a Hint, Danny Brown. That book delivers this trope much better. 3 stars, a cute story, but it needed a little bit of a spark. The award it gets is the Almost Written in the Stars award. Now let's take a sharp left turn into a book where nothing happens. Mina's Matchbox by Yoko Ogawa. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this book is so mundane that half of the time I kind of forgot that I was actually reading a book. It's kind of like a beautiful slice of life of 1 year of a kid who goes to live in her cousin's family's house and the events that transpires in that 1 year. It definitely had a lot of fun parts with this family and their weird obsessions. Like there's one character who's obsessed with matchboxes, there's one character who's obsessed with finding typos, and this whole family is obsessed with this one drink. Oh, and there's also a hippo involved. And side note, like, did anyone know that hippos are supposed to be gentle? Because after reading this book, it was news to me. But here's my biggest issue beyond all those quirky dynamics. Like, there is zero plot in this book. Like, half of the time I was questioning, like, what is even the point of writing this book? And it's just like when there's something happening and you feel like, okay, here's the moment when something major is going to happen. It's going to turn the book upside down. Oh my God, it's going to have a great ending or a great revelation. Then the book is like, nah. Let's go back. It's a vibes only book. 3 stars, beautiful, peculiar, but completely plotless. The award it gets is just vibes and Hippos award. Next up is Half His Age by Jennette McCurdy. Now, I have done a full review of this book where I go into the details of what I liked, what I didn't like, and the plot. So definitely go check this out, and I'm going to keep it a bit brief here. This is a bold, a very uncomfortable read about grooming, power dynamics, and toxic habits. Like, we follow a teenager, Waldo, who kind of falls for her teacher, who is like much older to her. And simply because she's a teenager and he admits that he's a failure. So that's deep. Now, you might find it weird, like does this really happen? But you kind of get drawn into the story because it feels incredibly real, like for a teenager from a broken family to kind of seek out these messy connections in life. Honestly, McCurdy's writing in this book is just fantastic. It is raw. The way she delivers this heavy commentary with like examples, like it's like Waldo has this mother who's so toxic. Like, she teaches like a 7-year-old how to pour drinks for men. Like, imagine how disgusting stuff like that is. So it's a beautifully written book. My only gripe is that Waldo seemed way too mature for a teenager, and the ending did not hit me as hard as I wanted it to be. But overall, I think it's a sick but highly raw book on why would someone go back to their toxic habits. 4 stars, dark, uncomfortable, and brilliantly written. The award it gets is Just Go to Therapy award. Now let's talk about a book which everyone was reading or rereading this year just to prep themselves up for the movie, which turned out to be quite disastrous. Yes, none other than Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. For those who are not familiar, the story follows this orphan Heathcliff who is brought in to live in this estranged estate, and there he forms with this deeply uncomfortable and codependent relationship with his foster sister Catherine. But when Catherine decides to marry someone else for status or money or whatever, it becomes Heathcliff's life goal to take multi-generational revenge on everyone around him. Let me be perfectly clear, everyone sucks so much in this book that I was just reading it and waiting for all of them to die. Almost. And when I saw the trailer, I was really confused because the trailer kind of portrayed it to be the most epic, original love story. Like, love story? Are you sure? Like, did we read the same book? I will give credit where it is due. Like, the story feels very original. Like, initially it's a bit hard to get into, but after you get past the toxicity a little bit and the dynamics between Heathcliff and Catherine, you are gripped into the story. You would want to know what's going to happen next. And I don't know how the author came up with such a wild, disgusting, and hateful character. Like, all of the characters in this book are unlikable, but Heathcliff like tops them up by a huge margin. It honestly amazes me that how this plot was based in this one small estate or house, and it delivered so much drama. Like, I hated all of the characters in this book. I hated the situations. I hated what was happening. But I just applaud this book for making me feel so much hate. Also, serious question for anyone who has seen the trailer or the movie, like, why does Heathcliff lick a wall again? 4 stars, toxic, gripping, but absolutely not a love story. The award it gets is the Red Flag Manor Award. Next up is another classic, The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. The story follows Esther Greenwood, who is this brilliant student who finds herself in a prestigious internship at a magazine in New York City, but slowly she kind of does not fit in and finds herself spiraling into depression. This book just felt damn raw. I don't think I have read any other book which hits so hard, so close to the periphery of what a bad mental health could look like. And also what really made me very surprised is how beautifully it is written and this is like a book that will stand the test of time, like even years after it was written. Like this book is as relevant and it feels very relatable, especially to people who have gone through such phases of depressions in their life. But honestly, one of the most heartbreaking and sad parts of me when I read the book, because I did not know a lot about the author, and realizing Sylvia Plath had actually committed suicide at such a young age, and that's why like some of the lines and detailings in this book just feel so damn raw. 4 stars, beautifully written, devastating, and hits very close to home. The award it gets is Beautifully Devastating Award. Next up is a mystery, a whodunit mystery, Everyone in the Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. Now the whodunit concepts have been done in numerous times, like so many times that it just becomes very difficult to deliver something very fresh. But I have to tell you, this book delivers on that. This book is so heavily meta, like we have this self-aware author who is going to try to work with you while he's telling the story to help you find the killer. Like he'll just do like weird stuff, like tell you the structure of the mystery novel, kind of tell you when a second murder is going to happen, will have told you that, oh, I've listed all the victims and suspects by now. He'll also keep a tally count of how many times he has mentioned the name of each person and how many times he is going to name the actual killer. So yeah, he is really trying to help you find out who the killer is, or maybe he's just confusing you. The level of self-awareness in this book made it so much fun. None of the twists were like out of the world, so that is highly appreciated, and the pacing was really good in this book. One quick tip, skip this audiobooks, because I started reading this book in audiobook and I almost loved it, but then I'm like, no, let me give it a try in my Kindle edition, and I quite enjoyed it. 4 stars, a smart meta and an actually fun mystery. The award it gets is the Meta Murder Award. Next up, I have a book which is going to be a cure for your Stranger Things Season 1 hangover. I'm talking about The Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune. If there is one thing this man knows how to write well, it is to write such an emotional, fuzzy, heartwarming found family story. In this book, we have a high-stakes road trip, a very cute romance, and also a kid who will not let you call her anything else than Artemis Darth Vader. How could you not love that? Unlike my previous book, this book I would highly recommend the audiobook. Like the narration is fantastic and it will keep you gripped throughout. I do have a very teeny tiny complaint though, like unlike TJ Klune's other books, I feel like this book felt a little bit convenient, like things just fell into places at the right place at the right time, and I did not feel that way when I was reading his other books. But honestly, I really don't care, because at the end of the day, it was a very cozy sci-fi adventure book, and it would just make you want to lie down under the stars with your favorite people. I just love that. 4 stars, cute, high stakes, and full of heart. The award it gets is drumrolls, Best Book of the Month award. So that wraps up February. I really hope I have some 5-star reads in March, because this year has not been off to a great start. So meet you again soon. Till then, let me know your favorite book in February, and if you have any recommendations, drop them below. Bye bye. Good night. Shubh Ratri.